Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I will give you my full review, no bullshit included, on Lost Ark. I've been playing the game for a couple of months on the Korean client, and I want to tell you everything I've learned. I want to tell you exactly what you can expect from this MMORPG when it's gonna come to us in the West. They've already announced the game for Russia. At the moment of this video, it's only available in Korea, so that's where I've been playing. That's where I have made my impressions about the game. So Russia is getting it next, and then after Russia, most likely us in Europe and our brothers and sisters from North and South America are gonna get it as well. Super fucking hyped for this MMORPG, guys. It's probably going to be the best game released in 2019 in terms of MMORPG genre. Yeah, so let's just get going into it. I'm going to tell you the good and the bad. If you're over 18, please don't forget to subscribe. If you like Lost Ark, please don't forget to subscribe. If you like Red Bull, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will be covering Lost Ark throughout this year, and if you want to know anything about Lost Ark, please don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get going, guys. We're gonna skip the boring part that nobody gives a fuck about, like leveling, for example. Yeah, you start at 1, you end up at 50, nobody cares. You do some dungeons, you do some quests, you get some potions, you get some world completion, and so on and so forth. Yeah, it's nice, it's fun. There's a fucking big dragon chasing you around, there's lots of cutscenes, the story is nice. Not too much of it, but not too few of it either. So it's somewhere in between, a very well balanced MMORPG, this Lost Ark. Yeah, I absolutely loved the leveling experience, but we're not gonna talk about it in this video because we just do not have time. It's gonna be 30-minute long video anyway. So let's just get to end game, where all the fun is, where you're gonna be spending the rest of your life. It's not level 30, it's actually the end game. Starting off with classes, guys. There's 4 different professions currently in Lost Ark, and at level 10, all of these 4, they branch out into 3 separate classes. So there's the warrior profession, which branches out into warlord, destroyer, berserker. There is the mage profession, which branches out into arcana, summoner, and bard. There is the fighter profession, martial arts kind of class, which branches out into infighter, soul master, and battle master. And finally there's the gunner kind of profession, which at level 10 branches out into blaster, devil hunter, and hawkeye. I've shown you some of the classes in my Discovering Lost Ark series. By the way, if you're interested in anything about Lost Ark, you should definitely subscribe to my channel and watch my Discovering Lost Ark series, in which I talk about various aspects in separate videos of the game and explain them to you if you have interest in this MMORPG, which you definitely should. Yeah, so there's a variety of classes that you can pick from, and that means there's a variety of content that you get to experience. You as a blaster get to experience some content versus a destroyer, play with the destroyer. You can try out a multitude of classes. All of these classes have a specific skill system. Yeah, the skill system in the game is very interesting. It's kinda like in Wildstar, if any of you remember how Wildstar was. It's a very nice system in which you get to customize each and every one of your skills, and you also have an LAS, which is a limited action set, in which you can add a specific number of skills only. You have a lot of skills for each class. However, to use per specific encounter, you can only select out of 8 different skills of your choice. Yeah, each class has elites, each class has different specializations, each class has a different innate skill that they can use. So there's a lot of class customization, and classes was by far one of the biggest surprises for me in terms of the game, because there is so much customization for each of these classes. A ranger, a hawkeye, can never feel like a destroyer, right? So you cannot have a different kind of playstyle if he's a ranger. If he's a ranger, he's kind of a ranger. You do have ranged skills and so on and so forth. You cannot be a melee ranger, for example, like you can in Guild Wars, where a ranger can wear a greatsword. You cannot do that in Lost Ark. So there are some boundaries. However, those boundaries are very nicely made, in the sense that you can customize a lot your class. So this game is going to be very appealing for people that also like a lot of customization, and for people that like their class. If I'm a ranger, I want to feel like a ranger throughout. Yeah, so it's really fucking awesome. Also to be mentioned, there is no healer, tank, DPS holy trinity in Lost Ark. Everyone is a DPS. However, there are many classes, I think half of these classes can support with various things. Some classes can increase the attack power of the group members, some classes can put shields on the group members, some classes can increase the defenses of the group members, and so on and so forth, with the Bard and the Warlord in that category shining as the two most supportive classes. So if you've been playing a healer that is used to watching HP bars for people, then the game might disappoint you in that sense, because there is no healer tank DPS, and there literally is no healing skills besides one elite skill of the Bard, and that's about it. Yeah, other ways of supporting, if you're a support player, you can definitely increase the defenses of your group members occasionally, or whenever you feel the need to, in terms of there's a mechanic that needs my 50% less damage reduction, 50% damage reduction, then you know, you can play support in that kind of sense. There is definitely a spot for a support player in any 4-man group, whether you're doing dungeons or whether you're doing like raids. You can practice in dungeon and then be viable in raids and so on and so forth. So there is a little room for support players to play support. However, even support players gather their supportive energy and so on and so forth by DPSing, and they do need to DPS in order to place those buffs. Those buffs come as a result of casting skills. Yeah, so that's an interesting thing. It might not be for absolutely everyone that has played healer for all of their lives, but it is a fresh take, it is an interesting take, kind of a Guild Wars 2 take before the Ranger daily specializations came out that gave the game a healer, a pure healer, let's say. So yeah, it's kind of like that, only a lot more modern, and in that sense different in terms of how you actually support people. Next thing I want to talk about is the combat, which is absolutely genius. I love the way things work, basically. I love the way PvE works, and I love the way PvP works. The combat is an action combat, it's not a tab targeting. You do aim with your mouse, your skills, however you do have your mouse on the screen as you're playing. It's not like in Terra, where your mouse is hidden and you actually turn with your mouse, yeah? But it is an action combat. It is a combat in which it requires reaction, it requires skill. The skill cap is not extremely high, the skill ceiling. However, there are classes in which it's higher, the ceiling, than for others, yeah, in terms of how fast you get to learn it and so on and so forth, how the combat works for that class, how the slowness applies of the skills, the animations, and so on and so forth. So there is a lot to learn. However, it's not so much to learn that it's gonna be punishing for the casual players or anything like that. So everyone kind of gets the idea, yeah? A very nice combat throughout, a very nice movement, a flawless, seamless kind of movement in combat in terms of PvE and PvP as well. Let's start with PvP, since we talked about PvP a little bit. In terms of PvP, what Lost Ark offers you is ranked PvP and unranked PvP. Every type of PvP in Lost Ark is a 6-man PvP. There is 3v3 in 2 different teams. There is 1v1v1 with the other team also having 3. So there is again 6 players. And there's also a 6-player raffle for like everyone is on their own, right? So this is the kind of PvP that Lost Ark gives you. There is ranked PvP with seasons, just like in Guild Wars, so that adds a little bit of spice, a little bit of flair, a little bit of competition. If you like ranked PvP, by the way, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. There is also unranked PvP, in which you can try out various builds. You can play with your team in unranked, because you can queue up as a 3-man team all together in the same party and then queue up, so you can have fun together. In the ranked PvP, the same as in Guild Wars, you cannot queue up with your team, because that would be maybe a little bit unfair, at least that's what they thought. And you can only queue up solo and get 2 other randoms that you need to carry most of the times, yeah? So that's pretty fun, that's pretty nice. The ranked PvP, the season PvP is not rewarding towards players that want to get ahead of other people. There is only cosmetic rewards for the ranked PvP, so you don't have to feel bad if you don't want to do ranked, or if ranked is a little bit too much pressure for you, or if you're just a casual player, then you don't have to worry about that. Oh my god, that guy, if I don't do ranked PvP, I'm gonna miss out on this and that. Absolutely not. Everything in ranked PvP is cosmetic. A pair of sunglasses, a hat, a mount, these kinds of things those people that get really high up in rank get at the end of the season. Yeah, so there is a season for 2 months, then there's a break, then there's another season, and so on and so forth. Exactly like in Guild Wars, where there's no season, people either don't play that much PvP and they can focus on their PvE, or they get to play unranked, and then you can meet those GG people from ranked, you can meet them in unranked, yeah. So that's pretty cool. Keep in mind though that the development team is constantly working on improving the systems, is constantly working on balance, is constantly working on developing new arenas and new techniques and new strats for people to use and for people to play. The game is very fresh, guys. It's been released like in November last year, so it's just a few months out and it's already amazing, and it is continuing to grow. It's not like they made a game. That's why another thing that I like about the game, it's not that they made it and they just gonna leave it like this until 2.0 patch, which comes in 2 years from now or in a year from now, and then they're gonna change something. They are actually changing things as we go with weekly maintenances. So that's really good for the development team. That's really good news for us in the West. A game that's been taken care of, a game that's already super polished and super quality. You can see the 100 million euro investment that they made in this game. You can feel it as you play. The graphics are absolutely stunning. The combat is stunning. The classes are amazing. Let's jump into the PvE section of things. What you can do at end game in terms of PvE. All the PvE content is maximum 4 man. This is also a downside, at least for me personally, the fact that everything is maximum of 4 man. There is dungeons, there is hard mode of dungeons, and then there is raids, or so they call them, raids. They're not really raids, because raiding means that you get a larger group of people and you go do a dungeon that's harder with more mechanics, etc, etc. However, in Lost Ark, raiding is also 4 man tops. You can also raid 3 man, 2 man, or just go and raid solo. Basically, raiding in Lost Ark, because that is the epiphany of end game in terms of PvE, it's actually raiding. Raiding in Lost Ark is exactly like Monster Hunter. You go inside with a party of 4, you get your friends, or you just recruit on LFG, and then you go inside and you have one boss with absolutely no mobs. Okay, there's 5 mobs in the dungeon, you kill them, and then you have one boss. Now that boss jumps in various places throughout the dungeon, and you have phases in which you DPS him, you have phases in which he disappears and you need to go find him. And that is another beauty of this game, the fact that combine these classes with this combat, which is awesome, and it feels awesome for each class individually depending what you like, with the fact that there is kind of a Monster Hunter style of raids in Lost Ark. That just puts the cherry on the cake, right? The fact that raiding is like Monster Hunter, where you have a boss, you need to kill it, you get rewards, you can break body parts of the boss. It's just absolutely amazing. You have a timer in terms of raiding. There's 20 minutes max to kill it. There's various tiers of raiding. There's tier 1 up to tier 4. It's a lot of different raids in a lot of different tiers. Some tiers very easy, just entry level 1 and 2, and some tiers pretty hard, like tier 4, right? It requires you to have a lot of knowledge, a lot of skill, potions and consumables in the game, and stats, and so on and so forth. So it gives the challenge to people who really want to challenge themselves in PvE, which is another thing that I absolutely adore in an MMORPG. The fact that PvE is also challenging, and the fact that it gives also the people that want to do PvE a thing to go for. Sad that it's only 4 man, the whole thing is 4 man, from dungeons to raids, everything. And that's one of the downsides of Lost Ark, the fact that everything is gated to 4 man. Of course, there can be the alternative of alts, and alts are very important in this game, mostly because of the crafting aspect of things and, you know, making some gold on the side. However, having an alt just to play with more people or just to play with the other of your friends is not a good solution. So I will put this, the fact that there's only 4 man tops content, as a negative to Lost Ark. I would have wanted to see at least one raid that is 8 man instead of 4, with a bit different mechanics but the same kind of Monster Hunter feel to it, just to involve a little bit more people, just for guilds to have a point. Currently, guilds have 0 point in Lost Ark, and if you're a mega guild person, then, and to play with them non-stop, then the game might let you down in that sense. If you're just joining a guild to chat, then definitely there's guilds in Lost Ark and you can just join to chat and maybe get a group and maybe make some friends. That's a completely different story. It depends from what game you're coming, it depends from what kind of what did you get used to in the past, in that sense, yeah. Cool, let's get into crafting, guys. Crafting is another very important thing. We mentioned it in terms of alts. Crafting in Lost Ark is nothing spectacular. There is no extreme unique ideas in terms of crafting. You level crafting up by potions or by actually gathering materials, and then there is various types of crafting. There is plant gathering, there is wood cutting, there is mining, there is fishing, there is archaeology. So there is a bunch of professions to choose from, and each of these professions can make specific combat goods that you need in terms of raiding. Each of these professions can create different things, like for example, the person that gathers plants, if he's maxed out, he can gather enough plants to create potions, really good HP potions that restore your HP, amongst other things. A person that has fishing and it's really into fishing, then he can create scarecrows that you place inside raids, and they just taunt the boss, they act like a tank, yeah? Crafting is definitely very important at end game, and that is because all of these consumables are kinda needed in raids. Various professions make various consumables, stun bombs, stun grenades, shurikens, and fire napalms, and molotov cocktails, and all sorts of things from various types of professions that you actually need in order to have a good time with some of the raid bosses, yeah? For example, there's a raid boss that summons trees as ads, so then you need fire cocktails to throw on those trees, so you don't have to waste time, because you don't really have time to kill them, and you know, just to slow them down and stuff like that. So it's important to have a good time, not mandatory, but important in that sense. So crafting, definitely super viable, yeah? Let's talk about islands, guys. If you like islands, if you like to have a vacation on an island, don't forget to subscribe. Islands in Lost Ark are plenty, and they are very important, not mandatory. Again, they are just extra content that you choose to do or not to do. It is not a must, however they give you some nice things, yeah? You can explore them on your boats. There are various boats that you get for free, and there's boats that you need to grind your fucking ass off for them, yeah? And the better the boat, the faster the speed, and the better your time is gonna be. There is also inside boats you can place sailors that you get by bartering with pirates, or getting them from NPCs on other islands or continents, and so on and so forth. So it is a very nice system, and a system that encourages I don't know, for you to be relaxed, to go fishing, to go diving for treasures, to go find ghost ships that you can go in for loot, wrecked ships that you can go inside the wreckage and scavenge. It's a very nice system, a very interesting system. Again, not a must, but a very good addition on the side of the game. While exploring with your boat, you find various islands. There's PvP island, there's PvE islands, and every island has a heart. Collecting those hearts gives you a lot of nice loot from the merchants that exchange your hearts for some nice goodies that you need if you're into exploring on the sea. If you're not into exploring on the sea, you can stay all your life inside towns and queue up for dungeons, raids, PvP raids, PvP dungeons, PvP raids, and daily kind of things. You can do that also. You don't have to step foot on water if that's not your cup of tea. But it is really nice. It is relaxing for me personally, coming from games that never had water and water content and stuff to explore there. For me, it is absolutely a joy to go spend my energy. There's energy that you spend while doing anything on the water, and when you spend that energy, it takes about a couple of hours if you want to spend all of it, and then it takes about 2 days for it to fully recover. You just get loot, you get goodies, you're happy, you go fishing, or you go spend your time nicely in an MMORPG, yeah? Lastly, let me tell you a few things about the cash shop, guys, because it is very important. It can ruin or make an MMORPG these days. We're afraid that everything that comes from Korea is pay to win, and granted, most things that came from Korea, most things that came period in terms of the genre were pay to win. From Revelations Online to Archage to Aeon to Terra to basically everything except Guild Wars and World of Warcraft, and maybe Final Fantasy 14 after they revamped their game. So there's 3 MMOs that are kinda not pay to win, right? And there's everything else that is pay to win, either a little bit or a fuck ton that you cannot even play. So Lost Ark is not pay to win. Lost Ark has very attractive items in terms of convenience items. I didn't say skins, I didn't say transmogs, I just said convenience. There is literally no skins in the cash shop besides 2-3 costumes. That's about it. The game is fresh though. By the time it hits for us in the West, it might have a lot of skins, but for now there is no skins. However, there's a lot of convenience things. There's things that complete your daily quests, for example, which is an item that can be called mildly pay to win, because as I told you, daily quests are important to complete every day. If you don't want to spend an hour completing your daily quests, then you can just buy from the cash shop 3 items that complete 3 daily quests, and that's about it. You spend real money to complete automatically your daily quests that you choose. You have to have completed them once yourself with your own character. However, all the time after, you don't need to do it again, you can just use those items. And that is a mildly pay to win item that gives you convenience, right? Rewards from daily quests are things that you really need in the game, sure. However, the convenience is what they're selling here, because you can easily spend 1 hour and do all of your 3 daily quests, and that's about it. If you have a really amazing boat that travels really fast, because all of these daily quests require you to go in various continents where you've been before, where you're leveled, then if you have an amazing boat, it takes 30 minutes to complete 3 daily quests, or some real money to complete them with that option. The another item that can be called mildly pay to win in the cash shop is an item that gives you consumables. Those consumables that can be crafted. Of course, crafting those consumables takes time and effort. However, you can buy boxes from the cash shop that give you those consumables as a choice when you open it. You pay real money, you get 3 HP potions, for example. Or you spend half an hour and you craft those 3 HP potions with your character if you've leveled up your crafting. That is how it goes. This is another convenience item, so you don't go and craft yourself, or you don't want to spend the gold to buy them from the broker, because there's also on the broker crafted by other crafters that enjoy that. Then you can just buy them yourself from the cash shop. All of these items obviously have limited purchases per day or per week, so it's not like you can buy yourself 1,000 HP potions and then be done for the rest of your life because you've spent 500 euros or whatever much they cost. I don't know. However, it is something that some people, and it's just by definition, can be called mildly pay to win. Not pay to win, but mildly pay to win. A third item that I want to mention in this oh my god is it pay to win category is an item that helps you enchant your gear and make it better. When you enchant your gear in Lost Ark, you give it more item levels, yeah? For enchanting various types of gear, you need various types of materials. If you wanna enchant your island set, which we talked about, then you need materials from the sea that you get around the sea and around islands. If you wanna enchant your raiding set, you need materials from raiding in order to enchant it, and that's how it goes. Lost Ark gives you the real choice of just doing whatever you like, and in there, whatever you like, you have everything you need to move forward with your gear. There is one material that is common for all of these enchants, and that material is also available to be bought 1 piece per day in the cash shop. In order to enchant a random pair of gloves from one level to the other, you need about 6 of those materials that I told you can buy 1 per day in the cash shop. You get them from daily quests, you get them from raiding, you get them from dungeons, you get them from the sea, you get them from basically everywhere in the world, from daily dungeons also, and you have like 3 a day. But you can also get them in the cash shop. So that is another item that can be considered mildly pay to win. The fact that this mat that is required for upgrading is also 1 a day in the cash shop. However, guys, come on, please, just be serious for a moment. 1 material out of 6, and then 12, and then 24 pieces that you need for 1 pair of gloves to just get it to 3, level 3, not 5, because level 5 is the max. That's not gonna help you at all. In order to fully enchant that pair of gloves, you need about 70 pieces of this material. So these 70 pieces, you're not gonna wait 70 days to get it from the cash shop, are you? So that's my point. Currently, at the moment of this video, Lost Ark is far away as the sun is from our planet, from pay to win. Yeah, it is nice, it is It gives you a lot of things in the cash shop that can speed up your life, like faster mounts and all sorts of boxes with crystal that can be exchanged with in-game currency. For example, you deposit in the cash shop, you get some diamonds. Those diamonds, you can exchange them for in-game gold. What you do with gold? Everything on the broker costs gold. There is nothing in terms of gear and upgrading mats on the broker. Nothing like that. You cannot buy raid upgrading mats from the broker. You cannot buy gear from the broker. You cannot buy this mat that you need for all to upgrade all the pieces from the broker. All of them are untradeable. The only things that you can buy from the broker, just for you to understand how valuable is real money to in-game gold, are consumables. All of these consumables that I mentioned, either from people that buy them from the cash shop, either from people that craft them and put them on the broker, you can buy those. You can buy playing cards, you can buy crafting materials that are used to mine or fish or gather plants, and so on and so forth. All of these side things. The game itself is made in such a way in which even if there is a cash shop, it's not going to affect your skill in game. It's not going to make you win. Inside raiding, you can res up 3 times per party. So even if you do choose to res up with an item that you buy from the cash shop, because there is an item in the cash shop that just grants you a resurrection on the spot instead of one at the beginning of the raid. It is very simple. Even if you buy that, the problem is that you've died and you've consumed the death, maybe 2, maybe 3, and then you're all out of the raid and it's over for you. So it's not important where you res. It is important that you do well in content, PvP and PvE as well, and not all of these items that are extras in the cash shop. Very nicely made game in terms of eliminating pay to win. How PvP relates to pay to win, that is also amazingly done. There is no pots in PvP, so if you buy them from the cash shop or if you buy them with gold that you exchange the real money for, you cannot use them anyway. You cannot use pots in PvP. There is no foods in PvP, there is no buffs in PvP, there is no boons, there is no consumable items, nothing. So anything that you can buy with your gold that you got with real money, or anything that you can buy with your cash shop currency straight from the cash shop, is not useful in PvP. You cannot with the cash shop be faster than another guy in terms of getting your gear, and fuck, that guy has gotten his gear with cash shop help and I'm fucking struggling in PvP against him because gear does matter a little bit and he's more geared. No, there is no such thing. The game is absolutely greatly done at the moment of this video. Will this change for us in Europe and North and South America? Will we get a different version of the cash shop? Will we have a shit-faced publisher like, for example, Gameforge? I don't know that, but we will see the closer we get to release. They did say that they want to publish their own game, which is absolutely fantastic news. If they would publish it themselves like NeoWiz did with Bless, that's absolutely great. That's a guaranteed no pay to win thing. And also if they would do it on Steam, that's also another great platform for us to have the game from. Absolutely a great experience I've had in the past 2 months in Lost Ark. I cannot wait for this game to come out already in the West. If you cannot wait for this game to come out in the West, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, guys. I will be playing Lost Ark in Korea for as much time as I'm going to be allowed to before I get banned, if I get banned. In conclusion, guys, my final honest thoughts about the game is that it's absolutely amazing. It is a very polished, very well done, no pay to win, fair, skill capped MMORPG that looks new, smells new and feels new for basically almost all MMORPG players to enjoy. And I'm saying almost all because not everyone's gonna like Lost Ark. It has some things that it might go too far with, in terms of it might be a little bit too much to the grindy kind of side, to the side that it asks you to do daily this and this, and then daily this and that, and then it takes a while before you get gear. It's not like in Guild Wars that you can get like a full set of end game gear, best in game, in like a week. It takes a few weeks, maybe a couple of months if you're more casual. So it does have some things that are not appealing for some people, but it has so much that is appealing for the majority. There's no pay to win, the classes are fantastic, the combat is super polished and well done, the PvP is extremely fair with the exception of course of class balance, which happens in any game in which gear doesn't matter that much. Like Guild Wars, there's class imbalance there as well, they're trying to fix it for years, same in Lost Ark, they are trying to fix it, they are toning this and toning that in terms of PvP. It offers challenge in terms of PvP and PvE as well. It offers big dick leaderboard ranking in terms of PvP. Also in terms of PvE, I believe that even in the West we're gonna have a site in which your item level can be tracked. If you're mega hardcore and you want to show off, you can just give people the link to your item level on the website, and so on and so forth. So the classes are awesome to play. Each class has its individual strengths and weaknesses. It applies for almost all people besides the people again that have been playing full healer for all of their lives. Those people might not really find a good medium here in Lost Ark because there is no healer, and because of that they need to play a supportive kind of class, but the support is different, and also there's only like one full support class, and that's the bard. And a guy that has been playing holy paladin for years or cleric for years, he might not feel the bard class overall, right? So the game again might let down those people, but if you try it, if you get into it, if you get used to it, it's an absolutely fantastic experience, an experience that I have been extremely grateful to have had in the past 2 months, because I have not had so much fun in an MMORPG I believe in the past 5 or 6 to 7 years of me playing MMORPGs. It was absolutely amazing. As always guys, please don't forget to subscribe. I will be covering Lost Ark throughout this year up until we get it in the West as well, and we're gonna talk about a lot of specific little things in Lost Ark in separate videos, so I can get to talk more about them and present to you guys what you can expect from this really nice MMORPG. I wish you as always lots of love, and thank you so much for watching. See you soon.